Square Enix, Koei Tecmo Games, Team Ninja.
Wow, that intro looks beautiful and epic.
Dissidia Final Fantasy.
Konnichiwa, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Musashi X, and welcome to my third episode of Trials, where I'm showcasing demos of various games that are coming out soon. And in today's episode is Dissidia Final Fantasy, or Dissidia Final Fantasy NT, I should say, which is the third game in the series of Square Enix fighting games of the name Dissidia. Yeah, the very first Dissidia was actually on the PlayStation Portable years ago. Basically, it's a fighting game between different characters of the Final Fantasy universe, from 1 all the way to 12 and so forth. And as the series progressed, that's when more characters from different universes will come out too. And it does have a follow-up, Dissidia Final Fantasy Duodecim, also on the PlayStation Portable, where there's actually assist characters this time, and more characters add in. Yeah, I didn't play that much of those two, though, because, well, let's just say once I played both of them just once, I kind of stopped. But anyway, what happened here is that I had to choose between 7 crystals. Well, choose one of the 7 crystals from the beginning and see what summon I'll get. And the summon I got is Shiva, the ice summon. Anyway, originally, my third episode of Trials, I'm supposed to have either Monster Hunter or Fighting EX Slayer, but I didn't have time to actually do commentary on either one, considering that during that time, at the time of their demos being accessible, I had to... Well, actually I'm still in the process of recording or finishing my Mega Man X marathon. Yeah, that marathon took forever. So, instead of either of those games, I end up choosing this one instead, Dissidia Final Fantasy NT, which was originally for the arcades some years ago, and now it's coming here in the US for the PlayStation 4. in this case, well, today's the 27th of January. Well, 3 days at the time of this, well, 3 days from now, at the time of this video, of course, it actually comes out on stores. However, very likely I'll probably just rent the game because, well, let's just say I'm saving my money for some future thing that I have. Anyway, what's happening here is that I'm actually in a tutorial mode, first showcasing some of the available characters in this beta. Like there's Garland from Final Fantasy 1, Zidane from 9, Jack from 10, Cloud and Sephiroth, of course, from 7. And there's Ramza from Tactics, Ace from Typo, or Type 0. I don't know why I say Typo. Yeah, that's a blood type, but anyway. And also in this beta, Noctis from 15 is actually available in this demo. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through each of them slowly but surely. And unlike Dissidia and Dissidia Duodecim, this game actually uses it now utilizes a 3-on-3 battle system, kind of like in King of Fighters when you have 3 versus 3. And it's also similar to that of J-Star's Victory Versus, where you're forced to have 2 members instead of just 1. And what happened here is that I chose Noctis from 15, since he is the most recent character, or rather the most recent series, I should say. And what's going on here is that I was trying to set up my my attacks, and you do have different kinds of attacks. You have your standard attack that drains your HP, or rather, to attack the HP of your opposing character. And you also have brave attacks in order to decrease the resistance and guard of your opponents and whatnot. And yeah, what happened here is that it has me, or rather a Moogle has me trying to learn some parts of combat, which I chose to skip. So instead I just return to mode selection, so that way I can get on with the game proper. And it takes me back into this hub world where it shows me different modes like story mode, online mode, a store to buy weapons and such. However, what I'm showing here in this demo is the offline mode, which is basically your standard arcade mode. And so far, the only thing that is available so far is basic offline mode. And I chose standard match, which is basically your standard arcade mode, and you're fighting just 6 rounds against another group of 3. And in this phase, I was actually choosing Noctis as my primary character that I control. And because I don't have that much equipment or equipment to have or moves to use, I had to stick with what I have for the time being. And the other 2 members I end up choosing Squall Leonhardt from 8. And for my third character, I chose who did I choose in this demo? Yeah, come on, cursor, stop there. I chose Ace from Type 0. And I will admit, I haven't played Type 0 yet. I will eventually do so. I just don't have the time. Because, well, RPGs do take a lot of time. And I still have some reviews I had to work with. And yeah, during that, and as you saw there, I had to choose which opponent I want to take on for the first match. So I chose the team of uh, um, let's see, who are my opponents? Ramza from Tactics, Garland from One, and of course another Noctis. So yeah, if you played Dissidia before, it kind of plays the same way, except you have multiple targets now. You have to choose which target you want to take on. Although yes, even though I have played Dissidia before, as you could tell from here, I am kind of rusty. I was just well, pressing random buttons. I have no idea what the heck I was doing there. And and during the match, you'll also see those floating crystals, well, floating cluster of crystals called the summoning core. And what you needed to do is that you have to destroy it before your opponent does. And what's gonna happen is that if you destroy it 2 times, whichever team actually destroys the core, the summoning cores twice first, that team will eventually summon a summon first. And yeah, as you could tell from this match, I'm actually kind of careless. I let my Brave points go down really fast, so I'm down to just 1,000. Well, now I raised it up to... Oh, okay, now it went down to 1,000 again, but yeah. I mean, it is fast-paced. It's great to see this game in 60 frames per second, despite having 6 characters fighting all at once. And yeah. Okay, I took down the other Noctis first. And the objective on this one is that I have to at least score 3 KOs before the other team does. And yes, whenever you select which team you want to face in the... Oh, shoot. Yeah. I let the other team end up destroying the summoning cores first, so the bad part right now is that, well, they just summoned Bahamut. And for anybody who has played Final Fantasy would actually know Bahamut to be one of the most powerful summons. So, yeah, I'm trying to be sure nobody here gets their butt kicked. Yeah, get away. Please get away from that laser. Past me. And yeah, I think the summoning stopped. At least I hope it did. And yes, you can also dash in this game, but it's actually quite limited, so you can't really you can't always hold on to the buttons, so you gotta have to stop at some point. And I just got my butt kicked there. But yeah, whenever you're in the versus screen, when you're choosing your opponent, it tells you how difficult your opponents are. So basically, I'm trying to see which opponent may be easier enough for me to take on. Well, granted, in this demo, I did not go on full 6 rounds. I just only show half of it. And right now, my team just summoned Shiva. And I gotta say, the designs of the summons, and as well as the characters, are actually quite nice. And yeah, so far it's payback time on my team, and just one more knockout should be able to end this match. and also although this is kind of pointless to say, but yeah, I chose Noctis only because as I mentioned, he is Final Fantasy 15 is the most recent Final Fantasy game. That, and add to the fact that Noctis is at has two fighting games that he's actually going to be playable at. Well, as you see here, Dissidia Final Fantasy NT is he's chosen to be playable here. And Noctis, he's also going to show up in Tekken 7. But yeah, that's the sample of the battles here in this game. So I think what's going to happen is that I'll stop right here. Well, actually, I might just keep on going. Yeah, because I actually recorded this video on my Elgato in approximately 30 minutes. But yeah, it is actually that's actually quite long for a sample video that I'm recording. But yeah. I think so far what's happening for the real game when it comes out, there will be just some number of characters that are available right from the start, and I think they say that the rest of them could be DLC. So hopefully, the other characters that will be included in the game, hopefully they'll be the other characters that did appear on Dissidia Duodecim. Like let's see. I know Tifa was in Dissidia Duodecim as a playable character, and Aerith show up in Duodecim as an assist type character. So hopefully both of those characters will be available. Oh yeah, and Yuna was also available as well. However, they made her a summoner instead of a gunner. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like both versions of Yuna, but the thing is though, I know people are gonna hate me for this though. Some people don't like Final Fantasy X-2 and some don't. I myself being a fan of Final Fantasy X-2, so hopefully if they're gonna make Yuna available in this game, well, hopefully they would make her a gunner, because the thing is, I actually do like her as a gunner a lot better. I mean, Summoner is cool, but she just looks so awesome as a gunner. Just saying. But yeah, hopefully those ladies will be available as well in the future, and hopefully they would make Aerith a full-fledged character instead of being relegated to being a summon. So yeah, it's really hard for me to say something else in this video. And yeah, so far both teams are neck and neck. Okay, never mind. Now the land started blooming with flowers, and so far my team is in the lead. We're able to summon Shiva first. And yeah, given the fact that this game is also done by Koei Tecmo and the creators of Dynasty Warriors, you know, since there's a lot of guest characters coming up all over the place in fighting games, like the Ninja Turtles showing up in Injustice, or Injustice 2, I should say, or in this case, Geese Howard from King of Fighters and Noctis from Final Fantasy 15 showing up in Tekken 7. One would have to wonder whether or not characters from Dynasty Warriors would also show up in the city of Final Fantasy NT. I mean, like, say for example, what if Lu Bu from Dynasty Warriors one of the strongest characters in the Three Kingdoms history, as well as the games, would show up in the city of Final Fantasy. I mean, in my opinion, that would be cool if he does show up, because if there's one dream match I hope it can happen at some point, I hope to see Lu Bu against Sephiroth. After all, Sephiroth is the most iconic Final Fantasy character ever, and I would like to see him go against Dynasty Warriors Lu Bu at some point. I mean, sure. We know Sephiroth is genetically made, and he does have that his one wing for him to fly, while Lu Bu's means of rushing through the enemy is his own horse. If anybody who's actually know actual Three Kingdoms history. So anyway, Index next. Oh, speaking of Sephiroth, yep. Now I'm facing him along with Tara Branford from 6 and another ace from Type 0. And we're fighting in the industrial city of Midgar from Final Fantasy 7. Although I do find it odd, though, that in this stage, it's actually playing a remixed version of the Final Fantasy X-1 battle music. I mean, I do like the remix, though, but it's kind of strange that it's actually playing in a Final Fantasy 7 world. And yeah, I'm actually going after Sephiroth first. And, oh yeah, what I didn't actually mention is that if a summoning core does show up, the only way to actually lock onto it is that you hold either lock on button. Yeah, there's actually two lock on buttons. Lock on going right, lock on going left, and so forth. But what you do is that you have to hold either one until it locks onto that core, and try to destroy it before the enemy does. Because, like I said, if the summoning core gets destroyed twice first by the enemy, they'll likely have their summon first, and who they have so far is Ramu. Oh, speaking of which, yeah, they got to it first before we did. And yeah, Ramu's elemental is lightning. So I'm up. Well, actually, I was trying to dodge that, but I kind of sucked. And there I am, pressing the run buttons again until I finally find the dash button. Yeah, sometimes you'll find yourself pressing the run button if you're trying to either evade or try to go after your opponent. Not to mention so many things happening all at once that you don't know where you're at, where your location is. So far, my team is in the lead. I just had to score 2 knockouts on this round. And yes, I'm trying to take down Terra because for anybody who's played Final Fantasy VI, Terra is half human, half Esper. Esper being like well, another term for summon. And yeah, I think in this video, or rather in this round, I'm not sure if if I actually recorded it in this video or if I recorded it on another video. At some point or another, oh wait, there it is. Yeah. Terra went into her Esper form, which is basically at her most dangerous. So I had to take her out as quickly as I can because if you played Final Fantasy VI, that's like I said. Esper form is Terra at her most dangerous. So you really don't. So you really want to try to take her out before she takes you out. Oh yeah, basically what I did there is it's kind of like your old means of communicating with your other teammates. Um, yeah, it's if you played Metal Gear Online when it was still available on Metal Gear Solid 4, yeah, you can yeah, that's your means of communicating with your other teammates. Although although I only use it like a few times. Yeah, I am going off topic a little bit, but yeah. Oh, okay, this is good. Okay, I took down Terra first, and then I summon Shiva again. Just one more knockout, and I should win the round. Yeah, I did not. I stopped recording right after this round is done, cause yeah, well, let's just say I'm trying to keep this video at 30 minutes or less. And speaking of which, I just took down Sephiroth. Haven't lost a round yet, so yeah. And that's Dissidia Final Fantasy NT beta demo in a nutshell, folks. So the question is, will I end up getting it? Possibly, but I'll probably just rent that via Redbox because again, it's grinding in this game is kind of like grinding in a typical RPG, and I know I have other videos I have to do. I have other things in my agenda. New games I gotta play. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this demo. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, follow me on social media on my Facebook page, and I'll see you soon in the next demo and next review. So until then, this has been Musashi X. I bid you all farewell. Take care and stay tuned, folks.